You know that feeling, right? You tap a few buttons on your phone, and boom, like magic, fresh groceries just show up at your door in an hour. It's a modern marvel, for sure, one we kind of take for granted. But have you ever stopped and wondered what's actually going on behind the scenes to make that happen? What's the secret sauce?
Okay, let's actually pull back the curtain on this. Because that amazing convenience doesn't just happen. It's a massive logistical puzzle. And getting your order to you that fast involves a whole series of trade-offs. And you can bet that someone, somewhere, is paying the price for that speed.
So at the heart of this whole thing, you've really got three key players, and they all want different things. First, you've got the platform. They want to make a profit. Then there's you, the customer. You want your stuff fast, and you want it cheap. And then there's the delivery rider. They just want to earn a fair wage for their hard work. And yeah, you can probably see where this is going. Those goals are often pulling in completely opposite directions.
All right, so let's break this dilemma down a little further. What actually happens when that system gets out of whack?
And here it is. This is the real tug of war. The platform's algorithm is built to chase two things, and two things only: keeping costs as low as possible and making deliveries as fast as possible. And that puts an incredible squeeze directly on the riders, who are just trying to get a fair income and a workload that's, actually manageable.
And this imbalance, it kicks off this really nasty downward spiral. When riders are overworked and underpaid, of course their job satisfaction just tanks. That leads to them being less efficient, which leads to a drop in service quality. For fresh food, this is an absolute disaster. It means more stuff spoils. And what happens in the end? The very customer loyalty the platform was fighting for in the first place, it starts to evaporate. So you might be thinking, is this just how it has to be? Well, what if there's a better way? What if we could design an algorithm that doesn't just chase speed and profit? A recent research paper suggests that yes, absolutely, we can.
The key is this idea called multi-objective optimization. Now, it sounds super technical, but just think of it like a digital referee. Instead of just picking one winner, say the lowest cost, it looks at all the competing goals at the same time and tries to find solutions that offer the best possible compromise for everyone involved.
So these researchers built a model that juggles three specific things. First, it tries to minimize the platform's total costs, operating expenses, penalties for being late, all that. Second, it works to keep customers happy by getting those deliveries there on time. And third, and this is the real game changer, it aims to maximize fairness for the riders by closing the income gap between the highest and lowest earners. Okay, so how does this digital referee actually find these balanced solutions? Let's peek under the hood for a second.
They use this advanced algorithm called NSGA-IIIalgorithm. And the best way to picture it is as a sort of superpowered GPS. See, your normal GPS just finds the single fastest route. This thing simulates thousands and thousands of different delivery combinations to generate a whole range of high-quality, balanced options.
And this wasn't just a theory. They really put it to the test in a realistic scenario. They used data from a fresh food platform in Wuxi, China. The simulation had 5 stores, 10 riders, and 50 orders to start. But then, bam, they threw 20 new orders right into the middle of everything, forcing the system to replan on the fly, a real stress test.
And the results that came out of this are fascinating, because the algorithm doesn't just give a single perfect answer. Nope, it offers something much, much more valuable.
What the algorithm produces is basically a menu of different, equally good solutions. Each option on the menu represents a different strategic choice. It lets the platform actually see the direct trade-offs between its different priorities clear as day.
Let's look at a concrete example straight from the study. Path 4 is the absolute cheapest option for the platform. It costs about 106 RMB, but look at that rider income gap, a massive 37.75 RMB. Now compare that to Path 9. The platform's cost goes up just a little bit, to about 123 RMB, but the income gap for riders, it absolutely plummets to just 7.25 RMB.
When you see it laid out like this, the difference is it's startling. By spending just 17 more RMB, that's about the price of a fancy coffee, the platform can slash the income inequality among its riders by over 80%. For the first time, fairness isn't just some fuzzy concept. It's a variable a company can clearly see and choose to invest in.
So what does all this mean for the future? And I'm not just talking about grocery delivery anymore. I mean for any service that's run by an algorithm.
What this really proves is that we don't have to be slaves to ruthless efficiency. We actually have the tools to design algorithms that reflect our values. We can literally bake in concepts like fairness and well-being right there alongside cost and speed.
And the model even gives us these incredibly practical little nuggets of information. For instance, the researchers found the absolute sweet spot for replanning routes after new orders come in is exactly 20 minutes. Any more often, and the system wastes time calculating. Any less often, and it's not responsive enough. It's the perfect balance.
All of this leaves us with one final, really important question. Knowing that it's actually possible to build fairer, more balanced systems, shouldn't we start demanding more from the invisible algorithms that schedule our deliveries, set our prices, and are, increasingly, shaping our entire world?